Hey guys, it's Matt again. I am coming back to you guys with another online presentation on a video. I am gonna be sharing you guys my project outcome for this semester. So, this project is a little backwards because I didn't take the first part of this class, so I used this class to come up with an idea, really get some solid planning, and really get an idea solid to design and make myself feel comfortable about the design route I am going to be going. And I am going to try to make an educational game that is very good on PC and on phones. So this could be used in the classroom. This is in a way a supplementary game. I would say, like, I want this to be a stepping stone for kids to learn games that they could do outside with their friends and really spread mine and a lot of other individuals' native culture with maybe some native kids that may not have access to their culture, and as well as people to understand native culture. So we're going to start off. So I probably should have came up with a title, but these aren't my games to title. This is, I'm making an app, a game, whatever you want to call it, for indigenous traditional games. These games have been played by my ancestors, by many people's ancestors. These are very old games. They teach a ton of great lessons to our kids. They were taught to our kids. This was part of our survival. So that's why I say I don't want this to be a virtual replacement for games. I would want this to be a stepping stone for kids to learn about the games. So, going on, I put our team members here. I'm the lead designer, and then I have my one of my coworkers, a great friend of mine. Her name's Quincy Bjornberg. She is a awesome resource when it comes to culture. She's always learning. She always is there to tell me if I need to be saying something else, to make sure every part of this project's culture is on point. She's also a master games trainer, so she has reached all the levels of the traditional games training. I am currently at level 1. There's 3 more levels after this. And I plan to take the other training in the summer, so I should be more in tune for next fall when I want to design this app. So, alright, overall vision of the game, I want to use. I'm doing that thing again where I talk before I even read what I put down. But so this game is not going to be focused on any of the field games. So what I'm focusing on is a lot of the hand games. So games that are easily accessible to kids, easily accessible to anybody who just wants to learn. So the 2 games I chose is Rock in the Fist, which is a game all about. It's all about intuition. It's all about that gut feeling. It's also about visual aid, and the biggest thing is intuition. We teach our kids from a very young age to play this game because it works on their intuition, listening to that gut feeling. When I do teach the games, I teach the games to elementary school kids. I like to tell them this is the feeling when you're going through a haunted house or a haunted maze on Halloween and you have that feeling trying to pull you away from something dangerous. That's the voice you need to listen to with this game. It is one of the most popular, I would say, for indigenous games, at least what I've seen. It's a really big hit, and I love teaching it. The second game is called Sticks or Stick and Fist. You're gonna hear me say a lot of different names, and sometimes it's just different tribes use different materials, call different names, have different stories about each game. So I'm giving a broad outlook on it, and we'll get into the cultural stuff later into this video. So what I've been doing is I've been meeting with Quincy. I've been asking her opinion. I've been asking the steps I need to go to make this game perfect, because in my opinion, I would much rather have a delayed product than an unfinished product, especially when it's coming to culture. I want this to be a celebration of culture, and you can't celebrate unfinished product or a lazy product. So I I've spent a lot of time researching and talking about the games. I'm even, like I said, I'm going to other trainings because I really want to see this project succeed, and I would also really like to spread my culture as a video game designer. So the next game is Sticks. So this is also an intuition game. It's a hand game where you have 10 match-like sticks where one of them is marked, and you put them all in your fist. One player will shuffle them up, and each player will take turns picking. Well, one player, the one that doesn't have the sticks, will take each stick, trying to pick as many sticks as he can before reaching the marked stick. So when he reaches that marked stick, he or she reaches that marked stick. The sticks they picked from beforehand, that's the points they do. That's the points they gain. Then the players swap turns, and then whoever has the most points at that round wins the round. And I completely forgot. I didn't even describe the rules of Rocking Fist. It is basic rules of the game. I'm gonna be jumping around a lot because when I present, I'm obviously not very. I like to just talk, so I may not be scrolling. So I apologize for that. So Rockin' Fist, it is a game where all you need is a stone, 3 sticks, and a friend. And what happens is, so say, you need to decide who's going to go first, who's going to be the hider, and who's going to be the seeker first. So what you do is you play rock, paper, scissors. All right, whoever wins rock, paper, scissors, they get to be the hider first. I like to think of the rock as the basketball or the football. You can't score without the ball. Just keep that in mind now. So you put your hands behind your back, and then you move the rock from back and forth, not revealing to your opponent, and then you pull both your fists out and you show them, and if they guess wrong, you get a point. If they guess right, they get a chance to earn points by taking the rock. Only the hider can gain points. Only the person on offense with the ball can gain points. That's one of the best examples I could tell you guys. That's how I describe to kids and how I try to let them know. We use this as well for our little babies. I know that some tribes will even use this with a baby's favorite snack to kind of work on that intuition and build that up. I've heard multiple different stories of how this game is super popular. It is very good at teaching intuition and teaching visual skills. So let's go back up to project outcomes and goals. Just sorry for jumping around again. The goal for this project is to make Indigenous culture more accessible for the Native youth and to teach other youth about Native culture and celebrate Native culture, and they will know when something is happening with Indigenous culture. I would really want this to be an outreach and a teaching tool so kids may learn their culture and be able to share it with their friends, their family, and really gain an identity. For those of you guys who don't know, I don't know if I've said this before, but I work in suicide prevention. And my biggest drive and my biggest praise, I guess, or not praise, but how would I say it? My thoughts on the best way to help with this work is to give kids an identity. And I found my identity when my mom passed away, and when I found out way more about my culture, found multiple different tools when I even started in this job. I felt like I found myself because I had the culture when I was young, but bouncing from house to house with a custody battle, I wasn't able to really find who I was or a part of me. And gaining this cultural outlook and cultural practices has really given me a chance to find myself. And that's one of my biggest drives in video game design. I want to share my culture with the world. I want to share it to the youth who may feel like like me, where they're native but they don't know their tribe. Maybe they just don't know anything about it, and I want to share that with the world. So that is my whole thing. Like I said, these aren't supposed to replace the actual in-person games, because the in-person games will teach all the lessons. Nothing can be a supplement to the real thing. I want this to be a stepping stone where teachers can bring students in, learn these games, and then the students would be, oh, this is really cool. We could just go find sticks outside. We could just go find a rock and some points to make out of it and share this game with the world, some of the lessons, some of the stories behind it. And I'm extremely passionate about this, so that's probably why I'm jumping around too much and have word vomit, because I just have so much to say. I am extremely grateful you guys are listening to this, and I hope it will inspire maybe some people that maybe want to help or learn more. I am extremely excited, so let's move on to app setup and interface. So my idea for this is I want there to be a main menu with each game you can pick. You select the game you want to, and then I want to have this as culturally appropriate as possible, where you get to select whatever, or one Montana tribe, because like I said, every Montana tribe has different materials, different rules. There's always a story that comes along with it, and I want to represent all tribes when it comes to these games. So say if a kid was like, hey, I'm Dakotan, but I know nothing about my culture, they could go to this game, click this, and we'll have a little slice of their culture and drive them to learn more. So after you select your game, you could select a tribe, and then I want the app to go to the game. I want to start off with a tutorial, the rules. I want the meaning behind the rules, the meaning behind the materials, and I would really like either a voice or some sort of way of one of the elders of each tribe to tell the story of the game that they're presenting. And then the kids can go on and start playing. And like I said, there won't be huge prizes or leaderboards or anything like that. This is a supplementary, a slice of culture. And that is the driving goal for this game. So this is originally supposed to have more games, but I want to focus on the cultural aspect of multiple different tribes. So I focused on 2, and then I can grow from there. Right now, I am working with Quincy. She is Chippewa Cree and Blackfeet, and she knows 2 different sets of rules. She knows the Cree way of the rules, and she knows the Blackfeet way of rules. I saw the rough draft. She was just cleaning some stuff up. Unfortunately, she had some stuff come up, so you will not see this in this presentation, but she's doing an awesome job. I'd much rather delay some of the rules going into this than rush them and mess up on a cultural representation in this. I want to take the time. I want to make this right. I want to do this right so every tribe feels rightly represented, and I have told each story correctly, each rule correctly. I really want this to be as perfect as possible. I'd much rather have this take a little bit than rush culture. So I also want to have a survey at the end of the game, or at the end of each class, where the kids we could ask the kids what they've learned, and that way I can know, okay, this didn't work. How can I make this so kids are learning exactly what we want them to? This is exactly an educational game. That's the driving force, is education. It is culture. It is so many different aspects that I just want to be perfect, and that is what I'm going to be striving for. So if anyone is interested in helping me with this project, I would love it. And let's move on to the core gameplay. So I have mentioned the rules to you guys, but I haven't really talked about how I would do it in a virtual setting. I want to give the kids. This is where I'm kind of at an impasse, and this is one of the questions I gotta figure out before next fall. But I am thinking about doing either animals that are holding the stones or holding the sticks, or having different hands to be able to choose different colors. I have to ask a couple of elders. I as a native, elders are very important for wisdom, and I just would really like to get some more input on that. But I want this to be native, 100 indigenous as much as possible, with some inclusivity in it as well. So that's what it's going to be. It's going to be exactly how I explain the rules. Unfortunately, there's no rock and fist, so there's no rock, paper, scissors, so the app's going to decide randomly who's the hider. Then you get to select what hand the rock is going to go into, and then the player B will select the hand, and then the game will go on like that. Like I said, this isn't supposed to capture the exact perfect nature of the in-person experience, because like I said, it's really hard to get the visualization unless there's a camera with the game, which I am talking about adding, but as of now there isn't any plans for that. I want this to be a stepping stone, and I will keep saying that. I want this to be a stepping stone where kids are excited about these games and they want to go outside, play these games, and talk about these games. The same for sticks. Player B will hide the stick, and then player A, who will be seeking, will try keep pulling sticks, and whoever pulls the most points before reaching the mark stick will win that round. It'll go on. Both of these games will be best 2 out of 3, where if you win 2 games, you will be declared the winner. So these are friend games, so you'll need to partner up in the classroom to learn these games, and that is exactly how they should be taught. I know some people will ask the question, why don't we just give gym teachers these rules and have them talk about it? Well, the thing I want to do with this is add the stories. I want to add music. I want to add hand drum music, because that is what I remember when playing these games is hand drum, play music, while playing a Rock and Fist tournament. I want to add as much cultural impact into this as I can virtually. Say in a gym class, they could tell the rules and just do that and say it in a bland voice. I want to add culture. I want to add as much as I can of my culture, of multiple different people's different culture to this, and that is the reason why. I also want this to, yes, it could be played in schools, but have a way for kids to maybe access it to show their friends. I do struggle with that a little bit, just because I don't want them to use this as a supplement compared to just going outside, learning these games and spreading it that way. But I also want this to be somebody's connection with their culture. So that's just a couple of the little hurdles. I'm feeling amazing about this project. I'm gonna end this with summer goals before I take that next step in designing. I think I'm ready, but there's a couple of things I want to accomplish. I want to take the level 2 training. I want to teach these games as much as I can, so I get this down crystal clear. I want to have no doubt in my mind I know each of these 2 games to its core, to the rules I can learn, and be as knowledgeable as I can. Now that I have Korean Blackfeet on its way for its rules and stories that I could add to the main menu after you select the game, I want to get 3 more tribes rules on it. I'm gonna shoot for Sioux, I'm gonna shoot for Chippewa, and I think I'm gonna do Salish. I have to see how many elders and see how much I can learn. That's my plan, to learn 3 more tribes rules to add to this design before fall. I want to meet with the Traditional Game Society when I am taking the training to ask them to collaborate to see if this is something they want to help with. I want to make sure that also if they like the idea, I want to see what they think because this is their games. I want to make sure I am doing everything correct as best as I can and as to best of my knowledge. So E is the same thing. I added both of the same point on accident. And D, I want to try to find other programmers, other people that would be interested in hopping on this project and helping me, and that is my goal. So fall goals, when I'm at the design step, I want to have and this is, so the final product, I want to have a functioning menu and a selector of the game and tribes, rules, meanings, and stories. I want to have a team assembled at the beginning of the fall so I could get the ground running to get a final prototype finished. I want to have each game to be able to be played. Maybe not have the sound up and going, that might take a bit, but I want to make sure the games are playable to show other people. I want to have the prototype ready to pitch to the school system, ready to pitch to the Traditional Game Society and Indian Education for All. And I want to get the survey complete as well to share with the kids if students say want to use this, or teachers want to use this prototype. So, final thoughts. I believe I have a better understanding of what I want to design. I think I really do have a clear roadmap, a direction to move forward. I am extremely passionate about this. I was really worried because I didn't know what to design, but walking this cultural line and really going back to what I've learned has really pushed me forward in this class, and I'm excited to get going. I hope to make culture as a game designer more accessible, more in this world. I want to celebrate being Native. I want people to celebrate and have pride in their Native background, and I want to be a Native game designer where I am sharing this amazing culture and the culture that has really brought me to who I am today. I want to bring up my people closer, the Red Nation closer, and this has given me so many cultural connections that I am very proud of, and it's really been a journey on just this document. I am excited to see what the journey of finally getting to design next part of this class. And I want to thank you guys for sitting through my word vomits and just the random passion blurbs. I hope you guys are having a wonderful finals week. I hope you guys are. I wish you success in your future endeavors, and I hope to hear from a couple of you guys that maybe be interested in this. So, thank you so much for listening to me. I can't wait to see the rest of your guys' presentations, and you guys have a wonderful summer. All right, bye.